everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. Of course, it's me and Pags. And if Stat Guy shows up, who knows? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good. Doing good. Made it through Monday, so that's always a plus.
Me too. It was a relaxing day. It was like the first real relaxing day I've had in probably what seems like a month.
I mean, that's good to have. So that's what I had on Sunday. I literally did nothing, and it was everything I thought it could be.
Yes, I was in that same boat. Like I watched let's see, I watched Point Break. I
Nice.
watched
Classic.
you know, uh Zach and Miri make a porno. I forwarded some causes that I needed to forward, i.e., my alcohol, and so things are moving in the right direction, uh, albeit slowly because I was not moving fast for anybody yesterday.
Well, I mean, when it's a day off, you're not supposed to move that fast.
Exactly, that's exactly correct. But today is back to work day, and it starts here with an hour after our show where I am going to be in my living room as we are having one of the local sports talk radio shows broadcasting from my living room.
See, that's cool. That's cool. So what was bringing them down to the bar?
So they decided that they wanted to go to 5 bars in Delaware County,
Okay.
and we are one of the bars. We
Nice.
were probably the most voted bar
Okay.
because everybody votes for my living room. And they said, well, you know what? Not only is it my living room, Dolan's bar, but it's also, he lives right upstairs. So he's definitely going to be here and in face paint. So they said, well, how could we miss that? I'm
Nope.
sure they didn't say that, but that's okay. I'm
Probably
a
not.
legend. I'm a
No,
legend in my own mind.
that's right. I mean, they wouldn't know if you were going to be painted, but they were pretty sure you'd be upstairs.
Yes, either way, I'm going to be upstairs. But yeah, so it should be a good time. It's from 2 to 6 on WIP. So it should be fun. I don't know if they'll get me on the radio. If they do, they'll get riveting sports knowledge.
So definitely not getting on the radio. I got you. And then what? So you're getting painted up for this, and then you are getting repainted for the Phillies game?
No, I've decided that I'm only going to do Phillies paint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just don't think it makes sense to try to do two paints. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, what am I doing that for? It's not like the Eagles are playing today.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious why you were doing both, but I mean, because if it's just a general sports talk, like I would imagine they talk about baseball also.
Well, yeah, especially since right now the Phillies, are not doing so great, in terms of over their last 10.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that there is a lot of, um, you know, stuff. You know,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I
No,
mean?
I
It's
mean,
just it's
there'll
there's
be
lots of stuff to talk about. I mean, everybody here is still like, oh my God, they're going to fail now. Blah blah blah. We were going to win the World Series. Now we're not. And I'm like, it's August
it's August, and you're still like third in
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 the
rank.
entire league.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I think you guys are fine.
But yeah, so I think it's yeah. We'll mention a little bit. Uh, about that. And of course, then they play tonight. And if you needed to write yourself, what better teams to do it against than the
You got the
Florida
Sox, right?
Marlins
Oh,
and the Washington Nationals?
okay. All right. Yeah, I was thinking you guys probably played the White Sox or something the way you were leading into that.
No, no, the Marlins, which are bad,
They are bad. Yeah.
and the Nationals, which are equally bad.
I don't.
So out of the next 6 games, we need to win 5 at home.
Oh, it's a
That
home
that would be
stand.
a nice turnaround.
I mean that's a reasonable number against those two teams.
I think 4 is reasonable. I think 5 is maybe, you know, stealing one of those games that you're not supposed to win.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean,
uh,
I think going 3-3 would be a disappointment.
yes, it would be. Yeah, losing to the Marlins at all right now, especially as bad as things are, would be a disappointment. You gotta win the games that you're supposed to win.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I really thought that the Dodgers was going to be your get right series. Like I thought that was going to kind of propel you guys forward.
Well, and I thought I how about that? Am I reading this right as I'm looking at this? The White Sox hammer the Yankees.
They did
What was
yesterday.
the,
Yeah.
what was the score?
That I don't remember. I didn't see the end,
I gotta
but
check it out now. So
yeah, I mean, they did some work.
12-2. That's
Yeah,
like right before the All-Star break. They beat us like 10-1. So the
yeah,
Yankees went out drinking last night,
pretty much.
or 2 nights ago, is what happened.
Yeah, I mean that's what it looks like.
Awesome. That's always good stuff. But yeah, it's like as I'm even trying to figure out like what's the news of the day. Um, oh, Claypool is out for the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it says Bills place Claypool on season-ending IR.
Oh man, that's rough.
Uh, let's see what occurred. Let's see. Of a toe injury that led to the fifth-year player missing a majority of training camp. Damn.
I like that Hassan Reddick has asked for a trade from a team he
Yeah.
hasn't taken a snap for yet.
Yep.
Now, I mean, this is just another case of the Jets fumbling here because he was leaving the Eagles because he wanted a contract. And the Jets they trade for him. And then they're like, you're going to play under your contract. This dude was already not going to play because of his contract. What makes you think going to a worse team is going to make him want to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I will play for that. Now, if it was the other way around, I could almost kind of see it. Like if you were on a bad team and you're like, hey, I want to be traded, you get to a good team and they're like, look, we want you here, but you got to play out your contract, but you have a chance to win. Be like, I mean, okay, like I could at least kind of make that work in my head. Whereas you're going from a team that was just in the Super Bowl to a team that has been dysfunctional forever.
Right.
So, I mean, this is just another case that this front office is absolutely just doing the wrong thing all the time.
Well, and that's Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas actually was here with the Eagles before he went to the Jets. So the Eagles and the Jets should be like good trade partners.
Sure.
So this is all specifically Reddick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, except he wanted to leave to get a new contract. So, I mean, you know, it's not like the Jets didn't know what was coming.
They did know what was coming, and they did offer him a contract with the Rays in 2024, and he did not like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And that was part of the MO while he was here. I heard that he was like a little bit of a crybaby, that he wanted more money. He wanted money, wanted money, wanted money. 14.25 million is just not enough.
I mean, that's got to make him pretty high in his position, right?
He's in the top 50%, but not near the top.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, think about this: defensive linemen and defensive ends, pass rushers that
true.
get to the quarterback a lot. I mean, he was one of the highest sack guys 2 years ago when we went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So last year they put him in coverage and he wasn't a coverage guy. So
When he still ended up with like 10 sacks anyway, didn't he?
No, I think he only wound up with 7.
Oh, okay.
But like even that, it's was that's just mediocre to him. He had like 16, 17 sacks the year before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. So looks like Reddick will not be playing this year. I hear he's big in Japan.
I mean, I can't imagine he sits out. Like that doesn't generally work out for guys.
Well, especially since he's then stuck under contract for the next year too.
Exactly.
Is he out of football after that? Like it's
Well, and of course,
actually, truth of the matter is that he shows up for week 1, just doesn't go to any of the training camp, but he shows up for week 1 and says, "Yep, here I am. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play," and do nothing.
I mean, the thing that's funny is the way that they put out the notice is they're also tired of his stuff already, and they are imposing the fines for not being at camp. So, I mean, it's just costing him money to not be there. And if you're already mad that you're not making enough, giving a bunch of it back probably doesn't make sense.
Well, New York gave up a conditional 2026 third-round pick for Reddick that can become a second-round selection if he plays 67.5% of the snaps and records at least 10 sacks.
I mean, based on what he's doing now, that may not happen. May just be.
Oh, he did get 10 sacks last year, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he did.
Yeah, so he got 26 sacks over his 2 seasons, 16 in 2022.
Yep.
And 5 forced fumbles. Yeah, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like a funny situation, knowing that his reason for wanting to leave is a contract. So for them to turn around and be like, yeah, but we're also not doing that, is crazy. That. But again, it's the Jets and they do dumb stuff. So
all the time is what they do.
I feel like they play that choose your own adventure book. And anytime you can really tell that, this page is going to be the wrong answer, that's where they go.
That's funny. I remember those books. Hey, tell your own story type thing.
Yep. Do you do this or this? And it takes you different page numbers. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those books were great, except for the fact that they were too short.
Yeah, they were short. Kind of like a Jets season, right? Like it starts off promising, make a couple bad decisions, boom, it's over.
End of story. So yeah, so I mean, but that's all they have really. I mean, there's no football talk. Baseball is still in the dog days of summer. They're talking about contracts.
We do have Oh, you piece of I had something queued up and then it just the page updated. That is
when that happens. Yes.
That is the worst.
What, on Instagram?
No, this is shoot. I should have wrote down the exact timing of it. Well, I'll have to do that one a different time. But the gist of it was there was so Dion was doing a press conference and a CBS affiliate went to ask him a question. And he's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything with CBS. And the reporter was like, I'm here at the local Denver, affiliate. Like I'm not part of national. He's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything with CBS. They know what they did. And what he was mad about was this right here. So they did a coaches ranking, right, for college coaches. And he landed at 61. And the little bio that they wrote was, no coach has ever generated as much attention with so few noticeable results. Coach Prime came out of the gates hot last season, winning his first 3 games and pulling off upsets against Nebraska and TCU. But the hype cooled off quickly. Both the coaching staff and roster have been overhauled. We'll soon find out if the second go round of this grand experiment finds more success. If not, we don't know if there will be a third year. The thing that's funny is there's no lie in that statement, right?
None.
Like it was wildly underwhelming, right? They beat up on a TCU team that was mostly not the national championship, caliber team that they were the year before. And outside of that, they didn't beat any ranked teams, right? So who cares?
And in week 3, they were ranked.
They were ranked. Yeah, they were. Exactly. So, I mean, it's they didn't lie in any part of that. But, of course, he got in his feelings about it. And so now he's just not fielding questions from CBS as a whole. So, I mean, like, do you even send a guy to that press conference, or you just say, you know what?
Actually, I'd write about it and be like, "Hey, he's become as stiff as his, I guess, his right leg."
Right? Yeah.
That's,
no,
I would almost make that one. Like that's
double down.
yeah. Just be like, you know what? It's obviously that that right leg is really just putting a big stick up your ass.
Pretty much. Yeah, because I mean, again, like there was nothing egregious there. There's no slander.
And I'm not making fun of that, actually. I am making fun of. I'm making fun of Dion. I'm not making fun of that specific.
No, for sure.
So,
but yeah, I mean, it's crazy because it's not.
I guess that means he won't answer any of my questions either now.
Why? Because you said something bad at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Just now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, based on the conversations we've had on this show, he wouldn't have answered any of our questions anyway. But yeah, so I mean, funny to like bag on an entire network because they wrote something accurate.
You know what? That's fine. You know what? Because ultimately, you're not going to talk to CBS? Well, we're not going to show any of your games. But nobody wants to watch them anyways because you suck.
And they're primed to not be good yet again.
Right.
So
it's funny that you said they're prime.
Yeah, exactly. Fun with puns.
No. Just wait till you hear that all day long.
Yeah, that's right. So that's why I don't watch anything back. But yeah, no, it just crazy that's the route that he went. You know, it's bad enough that he's out there saying, "Oh, my guys are only going to go to the places I want them to go," and potentially create Eli situations. Now you're just like, "Oh, somebody wrote something that makes sense because they watched football last year." And you're like, well, now I'm not going to answer anything from your network. Like, what are we even doing right now?
Hey, listen. Is your quarterback driving a Rolls Royce? Is that what's happening there? Is maybe your quarterback, who's also your son, a little like too much with the golden spoon up his ass, that he's too good to be a freaking quarterback? Because obviously he's not anywhere near what prime time Dion is. And since you're allowing him to do all this stuff, maybe he's part of the reason why your team sucks. Just saying.
I think the continuous turnover leads into why they're not awesome too. I mean, when he first got there, turning over the roster made total sense, right? They were a 1-11 team. Like, yeah, you're not running that back.
Well, he brought all of Jackson State with him.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, even if he didn't bring them, you're probably getting rid of most of that team because 1-11 is horrendous, right? And
yes.
That's not all coaching. Like you got to have a lack of talent to be that bad. Right?
Yes.
Because if you have a ton of talent, you're going to accidentally win some games, even with bad coaching. So, turning over the roster at that point made total sense. For his entire team to basically get gutted yet again, doesn't. Right? That becomes a a culture issue, which there's been a lot of talk about of kids leaving that team, hitting the transfer portal. They're like, I want to play for a team. I'm not trying to play for, a place that's here for clicks. And I mean, so there's, it makes you wonder what kind of chaos is actually behind those doors.
Lots of chaos.
Like, let's get the camera in there. Like they keep wanting to do Hard Knocks. Let's see this chaos.
So I mean, what would college be? Soft knocks?
I'm sure they just incorporate the NIL title in there somehow.
Nil, just straight nil knocks.
There we go. Or it'll be that Amazon series, All or Nothing, right?
All or nil.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
That's a good one there. I like that one. So, but you know what? It's good for him. I'm glad that this is all working out just the way he expects it to. Because coaching is easy. He's learning that right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, because I could be a coach. Hey, listen, we've already seen that Dustin can coach a team.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a coach, so, anything's possible.
Dustin is such a good coach that none of the other teams in the league want to play him.
Well, I think when you're throwing at the kids, it, makes them less want to play you less. But they are state champs, so I can't hate on them too much, right?
They are state champs. Almost, they came in second place in nationals.
Yeah.
Or in regionals to go to nationals.
Yeah.
So,
but even still, took them further than that school's ever gone. So that's pretty awesome.
Right. And now it's fall ball where he is. I'm assuming that's what he's doing today. He's in the fall. He's falling.
Hey, but if nothing else, at least football is back. That's the main takeaway for me. We finally have football being played. So actually, interestingly, there was a let's see, where is it? Something I was working on last night is the average starting positions for the new kickoff, right?
Got ya.
So the new kickoff, if you field it right, it has to land in between the 20 and the end zone, right? So every other version of the touchback either comes out to the 25 or the 30, right? Like that's as close as it can be. And so you have teams like the Falcons that their average starting position was the 20.5 yard line. That seems crazy to me. Now, obviously, this is a short sample size because, we're only 1 week into the preseason here. But
there he is.
Hey.
I was in a press conference, sorry.
Okay.
What were they asking you questions on why no other team wants to play you?
No, for the Chicago Bears press conference, I had to do a Zoom press conference for my column on them, so I had to sit through their stupid morning practice press conference shit.
So you're hoping your boss doesn't watch this show? Is that what we're doing right now?
No, I know. I already told him, like, you make me sit through that stupid shit because you don't want to sit through it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, and there you have. Well, now we know that the Chicago press conferences are shit.
all teams pre-practice press conferences are shit.
Right.
Pre-practice, not post-practice.
No, it was their pre-practice press conference. They don't start practice till 12:30 today, so it was their pre-practice press conference where they talk literally about 45 minutes over injuries, and then 5 minutes of, oh yeah, this is what we're going to work on today. Well, could we have just started with that, and then I could have left 5 minutes in?
Yeah, fair enough.
Or maybe just
real stuff like
act like you're there, mute it, and just be on our show like you would normally.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I'm trying to ask a question. I'm like asking you guys it on accident. I'm like, oh shoot, wrong one.
Just hit the mute button
Yeah.
and
Well,
minimize it.
since you were just talking about the Falcons, who they have a quarterback that I really wanted. This is why we can't have nice things in Minnesota.
Oh, that's what you meant by that.
I was like, that was the most generic, made no sense comment
JJ,
in our text thread.
yep, JJ McCarthy is having an MRI on his knee today.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it was going to be Darnold anyway.
But
So
that's why we can't have nice things.
Maybe give up a first round pick and you can get Penix.
Probably won't even need to give up a first round pick. We could be like, hey, we'll give you $80 million. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. The way he looked in his game, I don't think they're going to give him up.
No, I know. And that's the part that sucks because he's going to have to sit there for 3 years and do nothing because he's behind another person that we just had.
It would be kind of funny if they traded Cousins back, though.
No, it wouldn't because I don't want him back.
That's
No.
tough.
That would be hilarious. I
What's
mean,
gonna be-
Atlanta would be paying him. So
What's
I
going to
mean,
be hilarious is if they have Penix and Cousins compete for an open competition and Penix wins it because I think Penix would win it if they have an open competition straight up.
If they want the best guy on the field, that's what they should do.
Yep.
Giving him, the crazy money they did, he's going to start.
He is going to start, but he shouldn't. And yeah, well.
unless he's not ready. Like if the rehab just isn't quite there, because if Penix gets the start and he's
Well,
out
see,
there
that's-
rolling, he'll keep it.
Well, that's the thing, though. Cousins got hurt in week 9.
Yeah.
And usually an Achilles injury takes about a year.
Yeah.
So he should be on the PUP list right now, at least through week 6, which he's not even on that. So I don't know how you're going to be ready in 6 months from a torn Achilles, especially at 36 years old. I really don't.
I mean, he took some of Aaron Rodgers' happy shroom land, and
That's ayahuasca.
Just drink the kombucha. But yeah, I mean, if Penix does start, which I have a feeling he is going to start week 1 because I just don't see a scenario where Cousins is going to be healthy enough to start week 1. Even if he says he's healthy, he's probably still only going to be 70-75%.
Sure.
And one bad shot to that area, you're going to be done probably again. So I don't see a scenario where he's going to be 100% heading into what the opening week. And if Penix comes out for 6 games and the team is 5-1, you can't afford to sit Penix at that point.
oh, I mean, you wouldn't. You employ that adage of you stick with the hand that's hot. Right?
Yeah.
You have to. If you're winning, yeah, I mean, unless you're the Dolphins, and then you don't. But
And then exactly,
then you're like, you know what? We hate the playoffs. Let's sit the guy that's
we
getting it done.
hate Brian Flores, so we're not going to listen to him, and we're going to force him to start Tua, even though we are 6-3 with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh shoot, we went 0-7 with Tua.
Yeah. No, it was so outside of that, yeah, I mean, if he comes out and he's balling, of course you're going to stick with him because Cousins' contract is front loaded anyway, so it's only 2 years where all the guaranteed money is anyway.
Yep.
I mean, the third year has some, but I think it's like 10 million, so who cares?
Yeah.
In NFL money, that's nothing.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, having McCarthy going for an MRI today is always great.
So what happened? Like what?
They don't know.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because I didn't see anything that.
They don't know. He showed up to practice yesterday for treatment with a knee so swollen that he couldn't even walk.
Oh,
So they don't know when he hurt his knee. They don't know how he hurt his knee, but he somehow hurt it in one of his drives, and I don't even know if he realized he hurt it until he got to the facility yesterday.
he's not telling him. He went rollerblading last night and just ate it.
Because, yeah, he went through treatment all day yesterday, and it didn't get any better. The swelling and everything didn't go down, so they said they were going to send him in for an MRI today.
Yeah, that means they're probably going to have to go drain his knee then too. So
Yep.
I mean, he'll miss some time regardless.
Yep.
Even if nothing's wrong, as soon as you go and get that drain needle, you're out for generally a week.
Yeah.
So, well, that's fun.
Yeah, that's great. That's real great because he was supposed to start on Saturday against the Browns.
Yeah, I
Not
don't think that's-
anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not gonna happen. So who's your third string?
We don't know yet. It's either going to be Jaron Hall or Nick Mullins.
Wow. Okay.
Which,
Yay.
which personally, I don't mind Nick Mullins because at least Nick Mullins is serviceable. Because when
Sure.
Nick Mullins did play those 4 games at the end of the year last year, he actually kept his team in the game because he can throw. Jaron
Yeah.
Hall can't do shit.
Yeah. I mean,
And Nick Mullins is a veteran too, so I'd rather have him as a third string quarterback where he can kind of mentor McCarthy when Darnold's on the field, and then Darnold and Mullins can kind of both mentor McCarthy, as opposed to Jaron Hall's a 23-year-old second-year player who played in 3 games last year. What the hell is he going to tell McCarthy? Nothing. This is how you hold a clipboard, JJ, just like this.
I mean, if he's getting treatment, like, he's probably not trying to learn from him anyway. He's going to be learning from Darnold.
Yeah, but I mean,
hold it close and up so that nobody can see what's on it.
I'm not a fan.
Block the mouth.
Right. I'm not a fan of Jaron Hall, and I
was picking up on that.
I mean, no, because when Minnesota traded for Josh Dobbs last year, Josh Dobbs was basically an older version of what Jaron Hall is.
Sure.
So my thought was you drafted Jaron Hall in the 5th round last year. Ideally, when you drafted him, everyone thought that he was kind of that guy that you were going to try to mold to replace Kirk Cousins. But obviously, when you traded for Joshua Dobbs, that shows that you didn't have any belief in Jaron Hall to begin with. Because even when Josh Dobbs got cut from Minnesota, you could have gave the job to Jaron Hall, but you went to Nick Mullins. So I'd rather personally start Nick Mullins just because this is his 4th year in the system. He knows at least how this offense works as opposed to Jaron Hall, and he's not afraid to take chances where Jaron Hall is, double coverage. I'm just going to throw a 2-yard check down and punt instead of taking a chance and seeing what I can do.
Well, I mean, at least you're not bitter about it. So, that does get us to the halfway point, though. So we'll do the commercial real quick. See you guys on the other side.
This is Reggie Jones, owner and founder of Air Sports Academy. Air is based on the 4 core principles: heart, education, integrity, resiliency. Air is about developing student athletes physically and mentally through training, mentorship, and effective marketing. We've created a platform and a blueprint for our state to shine in the brightest of lights. I created this program because it was a need for our state. We needed to have the light shine on the student athletes in our region. And now that is happening at an all-time and undeniable rate. We created a lane for the kids in our state to get their college education paid for and set their families up for future success. We created an environment where serious athletes can now come compete fearlessly. We've achieved this through our variety of elite programs. Our 6-month off-season program, where first-year starters or seasoned vets can all come develop. Our 5-on-5 program, which is all about our line. Our youth tackle program, which is the first and only youth tackle team from the state of Washington to ever win a major national championship. Our 7-on-7 program, which is ranked top 10 in the country every year. Our high school 11-on-11 club tackle program, which creates unique and much needed opportunities for our kids. Our college prep program, which allows our graduates to come back from college and prepare for the upcoming season. Our track and field program, which creates an opportunity for our young air boys and air girls to continue to get faster. In your national program, you receive national respect, which is why when you look at recruiting boards and top player lists from around the country, you'll always find players from Air on those lists. Which is why college coaches from some of the most prestigious schools around the country come into our facility to recruit our players. Penn State, Alabama, Oregon, Stanford, Florida State, the list goes on. Our players are being recruited, offered, and committing to some of the top schools in the nation. The experience our players and families receive is second to none. We offer a competitive brand of sports at Air. We are the ball. And with that comes great responsibility. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. This is it.
All right, we got Frankie chiming in. McCarthy out indefinitely, so that
I just-
is encouraging.
I just sent you the picture in the group chat.
Yeah. What do we got?
Knee surgery.
Wow. That
Done.
was quick. That was quick. It's a wrap. All right.
Bye, 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 bye.
Well, hey, it's like we were talking about the other day with the whole most improved player and comeback player of the year thing. I'm not going to be shocked if Darnold gets comeback player of the year this year and they sign him to an extension
I mean,
because
they
he
could.
did. He
They
only
could.
played one series against the Raiders' first string defense, and he was great against the Raiders' first string defense in his one series.
Yeah.
Now instead of having McCarthy start this week, and now we go back to Darnold. Darnold probably plays a quarter and a half, maybe the whole first half, and then they go to Nick
Play him at
Mullins.
all now.
I wouldn't play him. Yeah.
I think they will because Jefferson's also playing. Jefferson did not play last week. I think Minnesota's going to treat. I think Minnesota's treating this game as their dress rehearsal this week, because
Okay.
next week is that short week anyways, where everybody plays Saturday and Sunday this week, and then that final preseason game is the following Thursday for everybody else. So it's that short week. So I think Minnesota treats this week as their dress rehearsal, and then
Well, that third week is evaluation week anyway.
yeah. So I think he plays probably a quarter and a half this week against Cleveland with the first stringers, and then after that he's done. And then next week it's probably Jaron Hall starting pretty much everybody that's on the bench at that point starting that final preseason game.
Well, yeah, because you got to figure out who's going to remain on the roster. So
Well, now you know who's going to remain on the roster. Now Jaron Hall is going to be quarterback 3. Nick Mullins is going to be quarterback 2.
yeah, I guess that's true. Everybody remains because JJ is done.
It's 4 to 6 months. It just depends on. Regardless, he's done for the year, even at that 4 months, because now you're looking at November. At that point, you're just going to sit him anyways the whole first year.
Yeah. I mean, you're not even trying to bring him in. Well, I mean, so hopefully he's really good at holding a clipboard and watching tape.
So something about being a Viking, I guess, because the guy was never hurt in high school. He was never hurt in college. And now his first game with the Vikings, he's hurt.
Smack.
And I went back to watch the film from that game too. He got hit like twice. It's not like he got
I was curious.
He got hit once in the pocket where he got drilled and completed a pass, and then he scrambled twice but didn't take any contact. So I'm trying to figure out when he actually got hurt.
Well, it makes me think that it had to be outside of that game. I mean, because I watched the game also.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that I would have thought he got hurt.
The only play that I can think is if you go back and watch his last pass where he hooked up with Trent Sherfield on that 42-yard touchdown. If you watch really closely with his back leg when he planted, and right as he let go of the ball, he lifted his right leg up and then kind of came down like he stepped on it wrong. And then the next series he didn't come back out. That's the only other way that I can see that he hurt it. One of those non-contact.
This
No,
is
Frankie, no. We're calling Atlanta, but we're not calling Atlanta for Cousins. We're calling him for the other guy that I wanted Minnesota to draft in the first place.
There is a zero chance it helps.
That everyone told me was going to be injury prone in the NFL as it was.
Well, your guy's off to a good start.
Exactly.
So, anyways,
Got
got a question for you guys.
Pickett available?
Who?
Is Kenny Pickett available?
First round pick will get anybody on our team, just about.
I'll give you 2/3 for Kenny Pickett.
Make it 2 seconds and we got it.
I would probably start Darnold over Pickett.
No, I would too. I'm just saying I'd rather have Pickett as my backup. At least he's mobile.
I mean, if you lose a second quarterback, you're not doing anything that season. Like I don't care what your team is.
Right.
You
I
can't
agree.
be on a third or fourth string guy and expect to do anything in this league.
Unless you're Josh Dobbs for 4 games.
Sure, like backups always look good for a game or two. So I mean, I guess if you just cycled through a bunch of them,
Give me all the backup quarterbacks on a 2-week contract. We'll play you 2 weeks. We'll ride your hot streak. We'll switch over.
yeah, no, that would work. That would work. Have a good day, Wen.
See you, Wen.
Yeah, I mean, if you did that, because I mean, usually that first game in, the backup looks great. Nobody has current tape on them. So, but what was your question, Bags?
So here's something that this may bring us to the rest of the show. So
Okay.
it's currently in the current NFL, removing quarterbacks. All quarterbacks do not count. Who would be the top 5 athletes in the National Football League?
Top 5 athletes.
Like taking quarterbacks out of the mix.
Out of the mix.
Yeah.
I would say Christian McCaffrey's got to be up there.
Yeah, he's got to be in there. Tyreek has to be in there, just from a speed element.
I would say Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter's a freak athlete
Sure.
for his size on defense.
I could see that.
He runs like a 4.5 40 at like 290 pounds.
Yeah, and I would throw a guy like TJ Watt in there.
I was gonna say TJ Watt's got to be in there too.
Right? Like that dude is a monster. If you were going to go with just athletic build, you got to throw DK in there, right? Like
Yeah.
that dude is an absolute monster.
I would say Lamar Jackson. You got to put Lamar. You got to put him. Oh no, he's a quarterback. That's right. Shit. I still don't consider him a quarterback.
I was like, how did you? We've named 5 guys.
Yeah.
How did you already forget the rules?
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening, Chad?
So in order, what would you call them? Like I said, the top 5.
So going
Who
like
would be
5,
the number 1? Who would be the number 1 guy?
Number 1 athlete overall.
I go McCaffrey number 1.
Yeah, I'd probably go that way. That would make some sense.
So you got CMC as number 1. Both.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably about as close as a running back has gotten to a MVP in a long time.
Since Adrian Peterson got it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you got CMC as number 1. Number 2.
I would I'd throw Watt in there. I'd throw Watt in there at 2.
TJ Watt. Do you agree with number 2?
I would have put Watt further down. I probably would have put DK 2, just because DK is so fast for his size.
Okay.
I mean,
he's built like a runaway freight train.
yeah,
Hey, you guys don't have to have the same list. You know?
No,
yeah.
I'd go DK 2.
Okay. Number 3.
I'd go Danielle Hunter 3. Kind of the same situation as DK. He's just too freakishly athletic for his size. He should not be a 4.5 40 at 290 pounds.
Yeah, I'd have him at the spot below this one. I'll go Tyreek.
Tyreek for you. And who for you?
Danielle Hunter for me at 3.
Hunter.
And
Okay.
then I'd do Hunter at 4.
And I'd go Watt at 4.
And TJ Watt at 4.
And then I'd have DK round out my top 5. Because again, he's just an absolute monster.
I don't even know if I'd have Tyreek Hill in the top 5 just because he's speed. Oh, man. You know what? Throw in Deebo Samuel for me at 5.
Debo.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, he wouldn't even be in my top 10. But
What about you? What do you got?
I think CMC is right. I think that he might be the best non-quarterback there, at that point. I don't mind TJ Watt, but actually I have up in the number 2 spot, what's his face from Dallas?
CD?
No,
No, he's talking Miles
Defense.
Oh, Micah.
or Micah. Yeah.
Micah
Parsons,
Parsons.
correct. Parsons.
Yeah, okay, can you throw him for 5 for me?
What, you changing now? What's
No,
the
because I
grade?
didn't have time. I didn't have time to think. I was trying to think about whoever because I don't consider Hill like a top 10 athlete just because of his speed factor. Like when you think
Right.
of Tyreek Hill, you don't think of a guy that's like super agile. It's just like basically straight line speed. And I was trying to go through like all the teams like position by position. I would have been here the rest of the day trying to go through that. But yeah, Parsons I would put as 5 just because he's a freak.
Right. I
No,
would.
absolutely.
I mean, so the hardest part about this is so if I think about somebody from San Francisco, I think about their tight end.
Kittle.
Yeah, Kittle would be in on that list as the number 3 guy because I think that and then here's where I get a little funny, and maybe it's the homer in me that does this, but Jordan Mailata,
Okay.
At 365 can run a 4.9 40, and is just a monster.
You could even put AJ Brown in there too from Philly.
You could. AJ Brown could fit there. I feel like that he goes further down the list though.
Yeah.
Like we're just talking pure athletes.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, Mailata is a beast, is a straight beast. So I put him on that list. And then my fifth one, I mean, I guess I could go with like DK because he's just like a specimen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you look at his body, he's just like, God damn, it's like, it reminds me of Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That he was just the perfect athlete. So it's not a big thing. I think that DK kind of falls into that category. And that would be my 5, interestingly enough. CMC, Parsons, Kittle, Mailata, and DK.
Yeah.
CMC being the number 1 guy. Is he really number 1? I mean, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? That's the hard part. It's just he's the most recognizable name.
The only reason why I give him the edge at number 1 is because if you play him at running back, as long as he's healthy, he's giving you 1,500 yards rushing every year. But if you move him to wide receiver, he's probably going to give you 12 to 1,300 yards receiving too.
Yep.
Because he can play. He would be a Pro Bowler at 2 different positions if he played equal time in 2 different positions.
Well, and he'll go block like he is probably the most well-rounded athlete.
Yeah.
See, going by that logic, you could go with the quarterback / tight end from New Orleans, right?
No question. Yeah, absolutely. But Taysom, was a quarterback on a stat sheet, so I didn't really think about him.
He's actually on the stat sheet he's a tight end.
And
tight end.
honestly, the best. I know we're not going to throw quarterbacks in here, but I'm going to throw one in here because I think eventually he's going to have to make a position change anyways. But the best athlete in the NFL, in my opinion, is Justin Fields. I really do think Justin Fields is the best overall athlete in the NFL. It's just that he's not a good quarterback. You move him to running back or even wide receiver, he would do a lot at that position just because of how fast, how big, and how agile he is.
So, all right, throw quarterbacks in the mix now. And of course, quarterbacks, that's why I say quarterbacks change this entire list because ultimately, but then you got, is it Lamar Jackson or Fields?
No, I put Fields ahead of Jackson. I put Jackson number 2, and I put Fields number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Justin Fields, I mean, the guy what is he, like 6'4", 235, 240? He runs a low 4.4, high 4.3 40. The guy is just a super athletic human being. And that's why they said, they were talking about it last year in Chicago when they said that there was a chance that Chicago might hang on to Justin Fields and still draft Caleb Williams with the thought process of maybe moving Justin Fields to running back because he has the body build that you could put him at running back.
Got you.
Man.
So let's change this up a little bit then. I'm not going to go quarterbacks. Stay without quarterbacks. Now go all time.
Oh, that's easy for number 1.
Who do you got for number 1?
Bo Jackson.
No. See, I had this conversation and Bo Jackson came up on the list. No, absolutely not.
See, I was more of I'm leaning more towards like a Barry Sanders.
I had Barry Sanders on the top of my list.
Barry Sanders, I would have 3.
So, all right. So here you go. Let's do it. All
Okay.
right.
So, all right.
Your top 5 all
so
time.
I'm gonna change. Okay, I'll put Bo Jackson 2. So I'm gonna probably surprise you with number 1.
Okay.
What do you
Randy. Randy Moss.
Okay.
He was also on my list.
Yeah, Randy Moss. I mean, you draw up a wide receiver in like a laboratory. That's the type of receiver that you're gonna draw up.
Right.
Yeah.
Number
So-
1. So you got Bo in number 2
I got Bo at number 2, and then Barry Sanders at number 3.
and Barry at number 3. You got 2 more.
He's freezing up. So I'll go Barry 1.
No, but I'm
Barry
here. I
1.
should be here now.
All right, there you go. Number 4 for you.
Let Bo get up to 3. I'm thinking about the other 2.
All right, so you got Barry number 1.
Yeah. I'll go Jerry Rice 2.
Not on my list.
Not on your list. Yeah.
Not on my list.
So because
I
I'm
got my other
I
two.
guess so. Are we just doing just athlete or just like
Athlete.
NFL player? Athlete. Okay.
NFL players, best athletes.
Athlete. Okay. So so scratch that. Let me go Megatron 2.
Better. Not on my list, but better.
And then 3, I would go back to a receiver, and I would hit Randy Moss. Because I mean, yeah.
Okay.
For 4, I'd go prime. Deion Sanders.
Okay.
Also not on my list, but go ahead.
I'll go. Hester. I'll go Devin Hester 4. Guy was an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't kick it to Hester.
That's right.
Okay.
And five is probably going to be a big surprise, but when you watch him play, you can kind of see why. I'm going to go Reggie White at 5.
Also on my list.
Reggie White was one of the more athletic defensive tackles in NFL history that nobody even realizes, because if you didn't watch him play, you would never realize that.
Yeah, let's see. 5. I don't know. Come back to me on that one. What do you got, Pags?
What, you can't think of anybody?
You got Chris Johnson out there.
No. Like I'm kind of I want to get somebody angry on defense, like an LT or so. I don't know.
That's all right. So now you got my number 1,
Okay.
LT.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Followed by Randy Moss.
Sure.
I have him at number 2. I've got, it was a tough one. It was a very tough one between Barry Sanders and Sweetness.
Okay.
And I went Barry. So I got LT, Moss, Barry, Reggie White is number 4. And then I put T.O.
Okay.
as my top 5. Now, of course, this is meant to be arguable.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, there's no right answer there.
So, but I got to go mute for a second. Give me a second.
It's actually, we're at the end of the show anyway, so we'll just go ahead and close it out.
All right, awesome.
Right on. So if you are watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps bring our content to you. Of course, if you are watching on Roku TV, stay tuned for the next hour. Other than that, we will see you tomorrow morning. Take it easy, everyone.
See you guys.
Thank you.